Domestic terrorism struck again. Two places, El Paso and Ohio. And there were two mass shootings within 13 hours of each other. That screams America. That screams that there is a huge gun violence issue. Now, I want to finally on my channel go after Fox News and Trump for their racist, xenophobic rhetoric that clearly, I'm going to show you these videos, that clearly is linked to people acting out on their racist tendencies, their violent tendencies. The Fox News and Trump, not even subconsciously, they push this through. They say these things, they know what they're saying, they know it riles up their base, so they say these things, and it makes people act. So I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to read you the El Paso Shooters Manifesto, and then I'm going to show you a video that is directly linked to Fox News and Tommy Lauren saying the exact same things that he is saying. Okay, I'm going to cut parts of these out because it's all just giving you the whole background. So it says the author, him, authored a racist anti-immigrant document that laid out a dark vision of America overrun by Hispanic immigrants. Okay, the spooky Mexicans, whoa. Let's keep going. This is where I want to pinpoint, okay? Some of the language of the manifesto reflects ideas from President Trump, Fox News, and the modern Republican Party. For example, the document warns of a Hispanic invasion and says Democrats are using open borders and free healthcare for illegals to attract new voters.
This isn't just a migrant caravan. This is an invasion. And every American watching what's going on should be infuriated because what it looks like there is soon going to be at our borders, something that we're going to have to deal with as Americans.
Are you saying that Tommy Lauren herself propagated this attack? No. I'm saying that the rhetoric that Fox News uses does have an effect on people. Now, Sahib, that's only one example. Okay, sure, I'll show you another Fox News example.
What the president has during his 2.5 years is a major problem at the border, which was not his doing, unless you want to blame President Obama for the unaccompanied minors that streamed through here in 2014. When you have over 110,000 people coming a month, over 1 million last year, and then well over 1 million this year, if you use the term as an invasion, that's not anti-Hispanic, it's a fact. If the Russians were coming through Alaska, through Canada, the president would be using the same language, but it's the fact that's happening at the border. If you talk to people who are apolitical at the border, people want to look at the words infested, or and look at what the president's saying, and then they say, well, look at how could he use this rhetoric when it turns out Elijah Cummings is using the same exact rhetoric 10 years before the president was even hosting The Apprentice.
Fox News has dangerous rhetoric, especially in a time where white supremacy is rising, hate crimes are rising, and this talk pushes people to the edge. But of course, Fox News is not going to talk about any of the real issues. It can't be the availability of guns. They have to find some sort of scapegoat. Kaz Kalinske, the host of Secular Talk, watch this video. Just watch.
So Kevin McCarthy is the Republican House Minority Leader, and he weighed in on 29 people being massacred in a 13-hour period, one in a mass shooting in Dayton, and another one in an El Paso Walmart from a white supremacist who made crystal clear, I want to kill brown people. So usually in a situation like this, well, I was going to say they'd be upfront about what happened, but no, they wouldn't. They would always deflect and obfuscate. But it's clear in this instance, especially in the El Paso shooting, it's the racism, it's the bigotry, it's the xenophobia, it's a terrorist attack, and he was using, a weapon that he probably shouldn't have even had access to in the first place. So maybe those are the things we should put front and center. The ideology that drove him to do what he did, and the fact that he was able to get his hands on, an incredibly powerful weapon without much of a struggle at all. So that's, maybe that should be front and center. No. Kevin McCarthy has a brilliant, scapegoat here that he wants to roll out for us.
We heard from the deputy governor of Texas earlier, and he was talking, it was a very impassioned conversation, really, and he was talking about the tone that the public uses on social media. He was talking about video games, all of these things that could have triggered, certainly the video game situation, he was saying, may have triggered the shooter there in El Paso. But what are your thoughts on that in terms of understanding that words matter, and that when we're talking to each other on social media or looking at video games where they're using, videos of characters with these weapons, is there a conversation to be had about that, about the tone that this country is using? It's become commonplace to say whatever you want to anybody on social media.
I think we should, and you want to see from these individuals what they wrote in others, but I mean, this may be a place that we could find this ahead of time. There may be a place of what's being written can be changed, could be an indication that an individual needs help in others that we can stop. But the idea of these video games to dehumanize individuals, to have a game of shooting individuals and others, I've always felt that is a problem for future generations and others. We've watched from studies shown before of what it does to individuals. When you look at these photos of how it took place, you can see the actions within video games and others. But what I'd like to do is make sure just get all the facts where there are indications. And there's times before that we have found this, and there's times before that we've proven we could come together just in the last Congress.
So apparently, violent video games cause more gun deaths. So pulled up this research from Vox, and let's look at the chart together. South Korea buys more video games than us, and you can see that there's no gun deaths, barely any. China, more than us, barely any. Let's skip us for a second. United Kingdom, they buy less, and there's not much. There's actually, it seems, a little more than both South Korea and China. Canada buys less than them, and there's a little more gun deaths because guns are a little more available. Germany buys a little less, and still a low number. France, still a low number. Spain, a low number. Italy, low number. And Japan, they have like 10 gun deaths a year. Okay? We have, 10,000 or 30,000 homicides a year? Something like that. Something ridiculous. So you can look at the graph simply. United States buys video games, and they're the only country that is insanely off the charts. They are the outlier. So that means for me, looking at this graph, I can clearly deduce that video games are not the variable. I think the variable are guns, the availability of guns, because all these countries here that they have listed have extremely restrictive gun laws. Especially Japan, like, you just can't virtually have a gun. The UK, you virtually can't have a gun. Like, having a gun in the UK is like virtually illegal. But United States, you can go to damn Walmart and be like, give me a damn shotgun. You can. It's guns. It's the availability of guns, not video games. And now they're thinking about going after gamers? You're gonna go after gamers? I'm a gamer. Okay, I play violent video games. Let me show you. Look at all these violent video games I got. Okay, look at these. I got Minecraft. I got Call of Duty. I got Apex Legends. I got Rainbow Six. I got Smite. Okay, let me keep going. I got Detroit, Trove, For Honor, GTA, the biggest culprit, Dark Souls 3, and then Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the most violent video games that there is. I know. Joe Biden, Fox News. I'm a liar, they've been telling the truth. This is the most violent video game in the world. I know, right? my man's. All right, they're going crazy. It goes to it. Ow! Oh God. Oh God, the violence. Please let it stop. I don't want this. No. Violent video games. Please! Don't do it! Don't do it!